Good morning, Ecom.
Can't use
But we're not monetized yet. I mean, no one's gonna care, right? No one's
Can't
gonna
do
see
that.
this.
Yep. Well, we might have 7 followers at this point.
Ooh, we're at least gaining 1 or 2 every week. I feel like, and welcome to an Intangible Commerce Wednesday, everybody.
Whoop whoop! Happy
Whoop,
birthday, America!
whoop. Happy birthday, America! Dang,
Right.
it's getting
Good
old
time.
and still around.
Yeah.
Still
getting
hanging
along.
in there.
It's still it's old like me.
So, that's okay. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk
That's
about
fine. I appreciate that. I really
it.
appreciate that.
We're gonna stay away from that one. Hey, I got some news for you.
Okay.
Did you even know this was a thing? You go on Amazon or some other website or wherever, and you're
Yep.
shopping around for a product, and you're reading the reviews. Do you trust them? Do you know
I
that?
know where you're going, and
You
no,
know
I
that-
know.
Do you know you can write your own? I don't want to say who. Which websites I know that allow it and which ones I know that don't. Because I used to sell online. I had an apparel business for a number of years. Did pretty good. And I was very surprised when I started making that site and products and all that. The creation phase. I hadn't sold anything yet. And it said reviews. I thought, I wonder what that looks like. Because I want to make sure my customer experience, is good. And it was for me to make my own reviews. I thought, that can't be real. So I started creating. I was like, let me see what it looks like. Yeah, sure enough. You go on my site, and it would look like somebody reviewed that product, but it was me.
Yep. That
Isn't
puts
that
a lot of
something?
people, because there's that, and then there's also a way that, they can go in and manipulate the reviews. So when you look at the totals, you're like, oh, man, this thing has great reviews, when in essence, most of them are fake.
Yeah, you can wipe them out. So the FTC, the all watching FTC, have taken notice. So they've said, I don't think so, bud. The
Can't do that.
FTC is now targeting fake customer reviews to try and help folks out to make actual, good decisions.
They should, because with online buying and commerce being such a big deal, we have to. I mean, that's the only thing you can go off of. You can't touch the product. You can't see it real. All you do is see a picture. You want to know how other people think about it. I think that's. I mean, I like that because I read reviews.
Good.
That's what I do. I look at stuff. I look at how many people bought it or how many stars or whatever, and that's how I make my buying decisions. For sure.
So and I think it is good too, but I also think it's a bit of a, what does it actually mean? The FTC have said, hey, that's not legal. We're going to start fining people who have it. Who's going to do that?
Yeah.
What arm of the FTC is going to be dedicated to actually enforcing this? You're going to report it. It's going to go into a pile of 10 million other reports. And I'll give you an example. I was shopping on eBay Motors a number of years ago looking for a new car or some car parts. I forget exactly what. And I came across a BMW M3 mint condition. Beautiful, brand new almost, like 3 years old. And it was on sale on Amazon, or on eBay rather, not Amazon, eBay Motors for like 20 grand. Now, I know what an M3 is. I know this is not a cheap car. So I actually looked it up, found the actual dealership it was from, and I called them and said, hey, do you know that your car is on eBay right now? Your exact car, pictures and everything, for 30 grand or whatever. That dude about lost his mind.
Wow.
I was like, all right, hey, chill, man, chill. I reported to the FBI, as you're supposed to do. There's a thing on you can report to the FBI. I reported to the FBI. How soon do you think it took the FBI to actually get back to me? This was 15 years ago.
They probably got back to you yesterday.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I've never heard from them.
No.
That report went through, never heard from them.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the same people that back in the day when you downloaded music illegally and they were going to come get you.
Yeah.
It's that same sort of,
Right.
Don't do that. We're going to get you.
We're going to come get you.
I can assure you, they don't get you.
They don't. No, they don't. And that's the thing of it. It's when you look at this, yes, it's a good thing. FTC is finally saying, hey, enough's enough. We're going to do something about it. But they're only going to probably capture maybe 0.8% of all cases in which it happens.
Yeah,
There's entire companies
Yeah.
That's their job.
Oh yeah.
Even on, as an example, and I do not use these, right? You can tell by our numbers; they're all organic. But I can see there are places where I could go on and say, hey, I want more YouTube subscribers and views and all this. I can pay a company to create subscribers and views and bolster our YouTube channel, which
Wow.
would help us overall to get in front of more actual people, which
Sure.
is, I guess, why you would do it. But it's not legit, so we could look like
Yeah.
we've got 10,000 subscribers right now
Yep.
when we don't, and it's
Yep.
just crazy how deep that rabbit hole gets. There's no way they're going to enforce it all.
Well, and companies won't want that because I mean, just to pull it back into what we're really passionate about is it will start to affect the buying process, and then people, once that gets out, it's almost like the fact that it's out is worse because then people start to go, is this review real? And then now they have to. I don't even know how you do your own research. You just have to. I
You
guess.
research it from different sites.
Yeah.
So like you go on Amazon, that's one place. Now, and you do have fake reviews on Amazon. It does happen.
Yes,
There's
it does.
companies who specialize in it. Amazon itself doesn't allow it, but they are there. But you would have to go to at least 3 to 4 different places where that product exists, which is why it's still important to Google the product that you want to buy. A lot of folks don't anymore. It's really swayed where 60+% go to Amazon first for that. But if you go to Google first, then you're going to get a multitude of results from different companies, and you can see reviews. Not everybody pays for reviews.
No,
so
that's right. And you have the whole fake product thing too. So then not only do you have the review issue, then you have the issue of, was the product even real? And I know in the car world, I buy a ton of car parts on Amazon, but I'm very cautious because there's so many fake products out there. They look
well, and a good way of seeing that is like if I were to Google this mouse and I see it's $20 on the website I'm trying to buy it on, but it's actually $50 everywhere else. You know you've got a fake. They're going to be cheaper. You usually buy a decent amount to entice you to buy it, and the reviews are going to be great. This is not a scam.
I've even gone so far as to find a product on Amazon, and I realize that it is fake, but they've got it listed. They don't list it that way. I'm just like, I'm going to research the price or whatever. Then I'll go to another reputable site, and they price match Amazon. I'm like, well, there you go, and they'll do it. But I'm like, that price didn't seem right, and I feel much more confident. I don't know if it was fake. I didn't buy it, but I felt way more confident buying it at a reputable site.
Absolutely. And I would too. And speaking of reputable sites, I don't know if you know this. How often do you use those sort of like buy now, pay later, kind of pay over time tools like Klarna and Stellar, that kind of thing?
Never. I've only done the PayPal one.
PayPal's got one too. Yeah.
But I've only done it just for kicks, not it's fun to say, oh, you can, take 6 months, no interest. And I'm like, it's just an easy option to pay.
Yeah, I like doing that. Personally, for me, I use those tools. I don't want to say often, but I do use them frequently because it's 0 interest. So it puts more cash in my bank account at more.
Sure.
I mean, even if it's actually, the last time I used it, I bought some pans, really nice pans. Shout out to Hexclad if you've ever used those pans.
Wow.
They are fan-freaking-tastic.
Gordon Ramsay backed Hexclad?
Well, yeah. Dude, now, when I bought them, they weren't, but now they are, so I feel even better. They really are fantastic. But anyway, enough about the pants. I bought the pans. They're like $1,400 for the thing I bought, right?
Oh, my gosh.
And I thought,
I don't have them.
Right, I can put $1,400 up front, or I can split it over 6 months. Like, why not split over 6 months?
Sure.
Some extra coin in my pocket.
Yeah.
But Klarna and another one, I think it's called Stellar Global. I've not heard of them, but Klarna anyway have decided, hey, why don't we take a bigger piece of this pie, start our own app? You can buy products now on Klarna using Klarna's pay over time app services. And when you think about that, for me, it's kind of like that makes sense. Why haven't you always done that?
So now they're a marketplace? Or what
they're
are
a marketplace. Yeah,
wow.
Marketplace, yeah.
Interesting.
Go on and buy online. You can shop, like, as an example, Home Depot. You can go on and the Klarna app and look up products from places like that. So it's really we toss that word around, right? Connected commerce, where we're connecting brands and products to people
Yep.
easier. I mean, this is you think about that personalized shopping experience. We're like, hey, I shop for a lot of product. You can buy Home Depot on there. You can buy whatever. It just makes sense.
Yeah, in fact, it's funny that this came up because last night I was looking at Duluth had a sale. I don't know if you use Duluth products, but they're high. I love their stuff. And I went to go buy it, and when I went to go do my PayPal, I just always use PayPal. It's just easy. I don't have to have my credit card in front of me. I just use PayPal. Well, somebody hacked my PayPal account,
Hey.
and it's all deleted. And I'm like, where's all my? It's wanting me to enter all this stuff, and I'm like, I've been using PayPal forever. So now today I got to figure out what happened. Then I went through my emails and found out someone's like, hey, we're going to add this email address to your PayPal. I'm like, well, that's not my email address. So I got this huge mess now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had to do some stuff with my banking. Anyway, I say that only to say that while this stuff is awesome, you're still vulnerable. Now, the good thing is a lot of these, like the reason I use PayPal is for this reason. They can't get to anything. I mean, they could buy stuff, I guess, and charge it to my account. But yeah, it's crazy.
So I just want to take this time to call out online safety and app safety. Things like PayPal, your bank account, your Amazon, any of that. If you don't have two-factor authentication turned on, do it. Because Dave, in your experience, if you had 2FA turned on, they wouldn't have been able to add that email address. It would have asked you to send a code first.
Ask me if it's on now.
I bet it is.
It is.
I bet it is.
And I had a really bad password too.
Oh.
I mean, you probably shouldn't use password 1234. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I went.
That's
through
what he did.
Yeah, all caps. But I went through and changed all that, and I was just like, man. And then it got me thinking. I'm like, well, shoot, I should update everything because if
you should,
So I started last night. Now I use plug out to LastPass. I'm a LastPass user.
LastPass
that helps a lot. But yeah, just with how much stuff is bought every day, I try to keep myself safe as far as from giving out credit card or all this stuff. And I know exactly what had happened. I saw the I bought my son a new baseball glove, and right after that's when all this stuff started happening. So somehow, I don't know how they got it, and I don't know how they do it. People are just looking for it, and it could have been
an unsecure website.
Yeah, it could have been a bot. Maybe they never did. They never bought anything. But anyway, with as much stuff as purchased out there, it is important, and I think companies need to get smarter too. I mean, they have to get smarter. Like, how does PayPal allow this to happen?
Yeah, well, PayPal has issued two-factor authentication. I think it shouldn't be optional.
No,
it should be mandatory.
Absolutely,
because people like yourself who aren't familiar with the importance of it, you haven't thought, well, I got a password. Who cares, right? Like, it's not something you even think about. But two-factor authentication as optional doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Personally, I use an authenticator app that goes on my phone,
yep.
and two-factor authentication for everything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You get hacked once, and you'll never go back.
That's right. That's exactly
it's a
right.
Must-have.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to hear they didn't get a hold of anything, but yeah. Another thing to look out for is when you're on checkout, look at the top left. If it doesn't have HTTPS, you are unsecured, which means that data can be looked at by anybody who's monitoring that website. Or if you're buying off a website you haven't bought off before, Google the website name or company name and the word scam or skim. Skim is where that website itself has an app installed on purpose to skim your information.
Yep. That's a great idea.
And do you know how it works? Info. India is the #1 scam capital of the world, right? We all know this. I have nothing against India as a country. Fantastic place, beautiful
good
people.
Food. I like
but
India.
there are absolutely fantastic food, delicious. But there are a lot of scammers from there. So what happened to me was similar thing to you. I started getting all these emails and two-factor authentication pings to my phone about 3-4 weeks ago. And I was like, what is going on? And it was all Kuala Lumpur. So I did a little bit of research. The way the scammers work, they get a hold of your email address and some basic information. And there's a whole list of common websites that Americans use. and they start going through every single one of them, entering that information in every single one, trying to gain access to every single thing. So go down your list of apps and everything you use and ensure two-factor authentication and a strong password are being used for every single one of them, and you won't have anything to worry about. But that's happened to me, and it was maybe 3 weeks ago, and I just kept getting two-factor authentication hits. Like my LinkedIn, as an example, was the first one they hit. My LinkedIn. What are you going to get from LinkedIn? Well, my payment information's on there.
But they really can't. I got to thinking though, even on like the PayPal, it's like, oh, it's linked to my bank account and everything. It's like, but they can't get to the bank account. That's not listed.
But they can get the name of the bank account and start attacking it.
That's
right?
true.
Right?
That's true.
Oh, you got a Chase account set up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Chase and start trying to get that information, you know?
I always joke and say some poor hacker is going to get access to my bank account and be like, what the heck is going on here? Sorry, dude. I'm a sales guy, man. You need to go hack someone who actually makes money.
Dave's gonna get a book in the mail from his hacker, Financial Success.
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah. Spending habits and how to stop them.
They'll be like, dang, dude, this thing is the pass through.
This guy's so just funny. Buying all kinds of stuff. He's got 5 cars by now. Look at all these parts.
That's hilarious. That cracks me up.
They're basically making a big joke story of your misguided purchases.
Yes.
Alternator, return, alternator. Oh, he bought the wrong one.
Yeah, he's not an informed buyer. Oh, that cracks me up.
That's fantastic. Love it. Well, thank you, hacker groups, for keeping us honest. Keeping us honest and making sure that we keep ourselves safe out there.
It's true. And look after your parents and grandparents, because they're the ones that get targeted a bunch. All the Visine emails and
it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's a $1 billion industry, scamming. Yep. So it's not going anywhere because it's very well funded.
Yep.
Moving on.
Here's another.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I had another topic. If you're ready to switch.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So this last week, I had 2 companies that I know of personally that have replaced their CEOs. One was public, one was not. But I thought it was interesting that I'm curious if that's a trend. Now, one was like family business, and they came in and pulled a secession. If you watch that on them, where they just.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about
watch it. Yeah,
I've been told that.
Yep, and then the other one was like a corporately traded or
publicly
traded business. But I thought that was interesting. I'm also curious if there's more out there. Is that a thing now? And is that where the economy has driven us to now? The efficiencies, everybody's looking and going, how do we be smarter? And by doing that, do we need to replace top down?
Well, I don't know. That's have you done any kind of digging around on that yet, or?
No, I haven't seen anything that would give me like I can't talk about it like I'm confident in the numbers I'm seeing, but to hear 2 in a week, that's I know. I mean,
pretty normal.
Yeah, well, yeah, for anything, right? But I thought it would be more information out there, but I thought, what, next time we talk, I'm going to bring that up to see, A, have you heard that? And B, what do we think that's going to do to even bigger companies? I mean, of course, we've seen the bankruptcies.
Yeah.
Everybody, Bed Bath & Beyond and there's actually more, but then on top of those, people benefit from those too, though. Like I even know, I can't really say names, but there's some that I know that people have come in and bought at pennies on the dollar and are going to revitalize them in a different fashion. I think that's brilliant.
I think personally, a lot of this fallout from COVID, right? That boom to bust that a lot of folks saw, the ability to take sales, but inability to secure product for those sales really threw a lot of false numbers on the book. Some CEOs were really smart about not allowing that. Others weren't. And I think that's attributed a lot of this. There's a couple biking brands. I know biking saw the single largest explosion during COVID. but there were no bikes. So they're taking orders that they couldn't fulfill. One company I'm familiar with did take the orders and allow them to go onto their books, and another one didn't.
Wow.
I'm not going to name names because I've worked with them both personally,
Yeah.
but one of them is now out of business and the other one's thriving.
That
So
biking industry, it cycles a lot.
Oh, yeah, it does. Cycles quite often. One might say they rotate just constantly, spinning
They're
around
always
and around.
pedaling through stuff, but they always make
Just you need to get a handle on this, Dave.
This could go forever.
Well, I think it dangerously it could. This is a scary cycle we're in right now. But that's the thing when you allow these books to
Yep.
I don't want to call it cooking the books because it's not, and I don't want to get sued. But you are putting numbers that you're writing a check that you can't cash.
And this would be about the right time. Yeah, this would be about the right time that it would all, like you said, the COVID bump, and then this would be about the right time it would come
financially.
down.
When have we ever seen this market before? This economy.
Right.
When has this ever happened before? Like never, right? This is in the new tax laws and all these things that are happening. These are very uncertain times. I don't want to go back to that. I know during COVID, everybody, during uncertain times, but these are financially and economically uncertain times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think companies are seeing that shift, and they might be saying, hey, you know what? We need a new perspective. In e-commerce, look at this, actually. So I don't want to get into the politics of this, but Constellation Brands, as we all know, have seen a gigantic bump following Anheuser-Busch's bomb.
Correct.
These guys have done something a little unique, not very unique, but a little unique. They're going e-commerce or have gone e-commerce, and they've seen a 40% rise over in e-com sales, direct to consumer. So you can go online and you want your Modelo, which is the most popular beer brand in America right now. You can go on and buy this and they'll deliver it to your house, direct to consumer beer.
Wow.
And this is exploding for these guys.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Well, and we'll see how that will that type of mentality affects you and I a lot because you know at where we work at Lodua, we're starting to see companies looking for that edge. And I always feel good being in this industry because I have a lot of friends who are like, hey, what do you think's going on? Or how do you feel like? I'm like, look, I hate to say it, but when the economy tends to take a little bit of a turn, I feel like being in supply chain and logistics, call it what you want, you're in a good spot because the efficiencies have to be there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think we're going to start to see. Yeah, I think we'll start to see more of that.
Absolutely. Well, just to explain a little bit more about what a Lodua is, or who a Lodua is. A Lodua. Can I get 5 Loduas, please?
With or without mustard. That's all you get.
Oh, I am not a mustard guy, so.
Well, can't get them.
I'm going to go without, but I want to relish this opportunity to explain to you a little bit more about who Lodua is, our sponsor of the show. Dave and I are both passionate about this warehouse management software and the efficiency that it brings forward. When you consider the uncertainty in the market, everything happening, what you can't be uncertain of is, can I service my clients accurately and efficiently? Can I trust that the warehouse management software is giving me accurate inventory numbers? Because it is challenging and expensive to get a hold of new product to give to your customers. And do you have a competitive advantage? If I'm reducing costs in a warehouse through a software, that savings gets passed on to the client. Are you able to do that, or are you spending money trying to train people over and over again because you can't keep that bottom 5% of employees and all these things that are happening? Lodua is the answer to those questions. Would love to talk to you more about it. Hey, reach out to Dave or I, either one, and let's connect. Let's have a conversation about what can this product do for your warehouse. If anything, it doesn't always make sense, but dude, if you don't know about it, if you're not aware of it, what are you doing, right? That's like saying there's a pile of gold in my backyard, but I'm too afraid to dig to see. You're going to dig to see. Let's dig a little bit and just see. If it makes sense, it makes sense.
That's right. I like it. Good plug, Ray.
Hey, it was my turn anyway. We give Dave a shot. I didn't William Shatner it like you normally do. It's
Lodua is the best.
I gotta say, I like that one better.
Well, no, yours is way better. I was going to say though that it's interesting right now. One key phrase that I see a lot of people, or I tend to say a lot in my conversations, is not do more with less with Lodua. It's do more with the same, because people
Yeah,
hate the fact. What see, they hate the fact of saying, "Well, I don't want to get rid of anybody." Well, you don't have to. It's what if you could do? What if you could actually raise the bar and double or triple your orders or processing, whatever it is, and keep the same, then you win. Because that's what
absolutely.
people are looking to do. No one wants to cut. I mean, if you cut, if you have to, but hopefully you're at a point where you can just do a lot more with the same.
If you have trusted employees who are doing a great job, this tool is just going to enable you to empower them to do a better job or do the same job more consistently. It just takes the pressure off of these folks that you're trying to remember to do a million things, and maybe you've got a list in your phone. Well, the software is going to stop that from happening, where it's going to be supportive.
Yep.
Your people should feel supported by the technology you have in place. That's the whole idea.
That's right. It's a fun time.
In management, we remove barriers, and removing the barriers from e-commerce. I appreciate everybody joining us on this very special episode post July 4th. This is going to come out next week, actually, I believe, on the 12th.
See, they never know when we recorded this. We might have recorded
They don't know.
It is really July 5th, but hey, you don't ever know if it is or not. I could have made that up.
He could have made that up. So I guess, thinking about when we launched this episode, it may not make sense, but still, happy birthday, America, and to anyone else who's had a birthday since July 5th.
May have people birthdays too. Happy birthday to whoever's out there.
People have birthdays every. I had a birthday on July 1st.
Whoa,
man! Hey, we should have had like a confetti balloon thing going on.
You should have had a cake. You could have blown out your candles.
I don't have any cake with me.
That's all right. We'll make that happen. When you go to Costco, you can get one.
Oh, I have not. Just update. Still haven't been to a Costco. I don't even know what the inside of one looks like.
We'll get you there. You're gonna have to film it until you get kicked out too.
Do they do that? Like if I walk in, with a GoPro on my chest, you think they'll just be like, "Get out of here"?
Tell me your first time visitor.
Do they have a long time listener, first time buyer?
Yeah, first time attendee.
Long time looker.
Yeah, you can use my card to get in and see if they let you in.
Dude, you know what? I think Dave, you hit the nail on the head. The first time I'm going to go to Costco, we're going to do an on-site collaboration in Dallas.
There you go.
Hey, let's do that. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Hope everybody have a great week, and thanks for joining us.
See you, everybody.
See ya.